GameStop had a clearance sale where you would go in and anything that was on clearance, you get 50% off of it. I found a few titles in there that I was really surprised that they were on clearance. I'm really excited to show you guys what I got. I also took advantage of the Pro Day sale that they had at GameStop. Bought about 3 games online there. But let's talk about some games I picked up. So the first game to start off with is Greek, and this is, hopefully you say like that, Greek Memories of Azure. So $20 clearance, so half off of that was $10, and this is a PS5 game for $10. That really called me out because the art style is hand-drawn art style, that the characters look pretty interesting. So basically you're 3 characters that go in an adventure. I'm not too sure the story because I haven't played it just yet, but of course there's a bad guy and there's a side-scrolling component to it. Each character has their own unique abilities that you use. I know I saw some gameplay. This character here, the sister, I guess, is a floating character that kind of shoots magical power spells, and then of course you have your one hero that does attacks. I'm not too sure what this character does, but the cutscenes look pretty cool. It's nice enough hand-drawn cutscenes that look honestly really nice compared to some of the other games that we've been having out recently with a whole bunch of CGI. And for $10, you can't go wrong with a PS5 game. So I'm not too sure if it's a Metroidvania. I know it's a side-scrolling action adventure puzzle platformer for sure, and that's a mouthful. But I'm not too sure if it's a Metroidvania where you backtrack and stuff. So looking forward to play this one. The next one is Observer. So clearance out, $10. And this is a PS4 horror game, and supposedly some people are calling this a really like hidden gem indie horror game. But in the sense, it's horror in the sense where the story goes that you're basically a detective in the near future, cyberpunk era future, and you're solving murders, and you basically link up to their their brain. You connect to them. I haven't played it, but I've seen kind of snippets of it, and that's what I see. I've seen weird creatures. I see that you can hook up to someone's brain, and you're trying to solve why they have died. So that's something I'm looking forward to play, because I've read reviews and people are calling this a real hidden gem for the horror era. Now, for sure, this is a known horror game here, and this is Doom 3 VR Edition. Now, Doom 3 is one of those pretty sick games on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox. It was one of those games that really just kind of really scared you, huh? So the cool thing is that it has now the VR component to it. So, and I got this for $2. So I'm doing like a subset collection for VR games, and I've heard that the original VR games are not going to work with a VR2, which is kind of weird. But for $2 sealed, come on guys, like this is actually pretty sweet. I was surprised to have it sealed. I mean, I went over there to the back, I went over there to GameStop and I asked them like, hey, like these are the games that I want, and they started putting out some sealed games. So, but Doom 3 VR Edition, glad to add this to the VR collection that I have going on. It's kind of a small collection. I might just show you guys a video on the small VR collection that I have, but it's a subset collection that I'm really interested to have. Now, this next game, Spiritfarer, I've been wanting to get this game for a while already, but I just finally was able to pick it up on sale. This game itself wasn't too expensive at all. It was actually only $10. It is on Switch. I wanted to get it on Switch, but I only saw it for the PS4 on clearance, so I just decided to get it there. It feels pretty heavy. I think there's a manual in here, but Spiritfarer basically is where you're like what it sounds like, a Spiritfarer. You have a ferry boat for the spirits going from the living to the deceased world, and you have a ship. And on the ship, you build, you accommodate to the spirits. You build like houses for them. So it's kind of like an apartment on a boat, taking them into the other world. And there's little quests that you do, and you try to accommodate to every different being there. You have deep, meaningful conversations with these characters, and it's just overall a game that I find really intriguing. It's one of those kind of cozy games, I guess you want to call it, that genre. But this is one of the ones that I really wanted to jump on, just because it has to do with death and dying and going to the other world. Now the next game is New Super Lucky Tale. This one is actually, the New Super Lucky's Tale is different than Super Lucky's Tale. So I was reading that the New Super Lucky's Tale actually has redesigned levels compared to the original game, and they added new levels to it and some different type of gameplay mechanics. So it is I believe, like a adventure game platformer with collectathon. I don't think it's coins. I think it's lost pages of a book or something. I haven't played it yet. Really intriguing. I like it. Of course, it reminds me of nostalgic Super Mario 64. This is all what we're used to and stuff, right? That era of the golden era of the open adventure platforming and stuff like that. It was really good during that time. So this kind of reminds me of that. And I heard it's really, really, really well designed. So I'm really excited actually to play this one. And I might just jump on this and play with my children, because just it looks so fun. It looks quirky. It looks cool to just play a platformer nowadays instead of like shooters. Oh, and even though I love Elden Ring, but open world, you know, gothic style games, you just want to step back and play something that reminds you of your childhood, and something that's just a little bit more lighthearted, but still providing some fun game mechanics. So I'm hoping to find this with the new Super Lucky's Tale. So Atelier Sophie 2, I played one of the Atelier games on the PlayStation 3, and I do have quite a bit of them. I mean, there's a bunch of Atelier games out there. I had to grab this one, especially for $24.99, $25 sealed. PlayStation 4, it's gonna stay sealed. You know, because why am I gonna play part 2 if I haven't even played part 1? If I really want to play it and I beat part 1, I'll open this. But honestly, I'll probably just keep it sealed like this, just because it's an RPG. I know it's, you know, PlayStation 4. Who's really collecting PS4 right now? Well, me. I mean, it's a really good idea to collect PS4 at the moment, especially with clearance deals like this, because, you know, Kuon on the PS2 went on clearance at one point, or it was on sale at one point, I'm sure. And I bet you a lot of us kind of regret not picking up that game on sale. So I don't want to have that FOMO, right? FOMO hits hard sometimes. Not Destiny FOMO, because I don't know her, but FOMO period hits hard sometimes. And I don't want to miss out. And for $25, I really can't say no to Atelier Sophie, an RPG by Koei Tecmo and Gust. And you know, they have some solid titles, and Atelier's titles always hit pretty well, just like you know, Final Fantasy or Tales of. They hit pretty well. So $25 for a sealed Atelier, I'm not gonna pass on that. And I always like the art style. Now moving on to the Switch games. Now, time management game collection. So it was $2. You know, I can't, come on, it's $2 Switch game. I wasn't gonna pass it up for $2. I myself don't like time management games. I really don't. Except for, I mean, the only one that I can say is, of course, Zelda Majora's Mask. But that one, at least you can go back in time and stuff. But, you know, this is a pretty cheap Switch game. Looks like a mobile game. So I have no idea what any of these games actually play or look like. I'm sure, you know, I don't want to diss on the developers, because people take time to make these, right? So I'm sure they're just kind of like simple games, nothing too crazy. But for $2, I mean, at least you get a Switch case, and look, reversible cover. That's actually pretty cool. Or not reversible cover, back art cover to this. That's not bad. So a $2 game. You know, I might use it for, you know, as a bundle if I ever sell one of my Switches, just to toss it in there and just to help it kind of like sell. But yeah, time management game collection by GS2 Game. So for $7, you know, $7, this game has been on my radar for a little while. I didn't want to pay too much for it. I didn't want to spend more than $30 on it, but for $7, ding ding ding, hello, it's a must buy. So just because it's this like cozy lifestyle game where you get a farm and you build up your farm by harvesting crops and whatnot. I know in the beginning of this game, like when it first came out, it had some issues. It had some game breaking issues, but I think they've already updated it since then. But those crops, you can actually mutate into animals. They're called plantimals, right? You cross them together, and you go against this shady corporation, and you fight monsters in dungeons and stuff. So it's got somewhat of a storyline, even though most of these games like this are more about just like harvesting your crops and all this stuff. But cozy games like these that include some sort of combat are always kind of on my radar. Like was it? I think it was Sakura from the Rice Goddess. I forget the name of it right now. I'll try to plug it in. And the other games like Rune Factory, where you kind of like build your own area and you harvest your own crops, and then you also do battles. So this is why it called to me. And for $7 on clearance, why not? And look at that nice cover art right there from the background cover art. So that's pretty cool. Now, Metal Max Xeno Reborn. Metal Max, I've been meaning to play this, right? It's by P-Cube. Now, it's kind of like a Monster Hunter clone, but where you have tanks. And you customize your tanks and your weapons, and you go out there and destroy creatures. So, it's an open world type, in a sense. Well, at least open map. You know how Monster Hunter is segmentalized in certain maps? So, when I saw this, it was pretty interesting. I mean, I only got it for, what, 20 bucks? That's not too bad for this game. I've been meaning to play it. And this is actually, Reborn is, it was remade again, polished. I don't think it was for the PS3. I think it was for the PS4, but it was just polished again. And it came out. And, you know, it's not going to be a Monster World type, like, looking, because everything's kind of generic brown. It's more desert. Everything's kind of like, the backgrounds aren't too, you know, flashy. But for $20, I really couldn't pass up this game because I'm interested in playing it, customizing my tanks, and going out there. You know, tanks. There's a bus right there, and you know, characters, and going out there and fighting some desert shark creatures. So for 20 bucks, I'm not upset at all with this. So I like that cover as well, pretty slick. So there you go. Now, one that I was really surprised for $20 on clearance is this Monarch Deluxe Edition. A lot of people are saying that Monarch's going to be one of those games. It's an NES game that people are going to be wanting to pick up later on, because it was, I believe it was a late release on the PS4, was it? It did come up with a PS5. It's now on Switch Mobile. But people are saying it's really well done. It's a game that people should be jumping on. Now, I did start playing this game, and I'm into the first 30 minutes of it, and of course it's an RPG, so you know they have a lot of story and talking and everything. But for the beginning, what it is, it intrigued me, right? And it's pretty interesting, especially where you wake up and there's this fog in the school, and you're trying to figure out what to do, and there's creatures, and it's pretty interesting. So this is one of the games I really want to jump into a little bit more and play. After I'm done with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, this is one I really want to enjoy. And the cool thing is, for 20 bucks, I have it for the PS5, right? But I wanted it mobile. I wanted to be able to take it with me. And for 20 bucks on the Switch, oh yeah. And it's a deluxe edition. I was like, all right, you know, whatever. At least 20 bucks I get the game. Turns out, look at that back art. That's pretty solid. Turns out it actually has the it comes with a little like art book, I believe, and a track, DLC, or not DLC, is like a downloadable content, a track for online that you can download for your Switch, and it's sealed. That's sealed. So for $20, man, NES game, Switch. It comes with the extras that was featured here in the back for the deluxe edition. 20 bucks, dude, come on, let's go. This is a solid find, solid buy for the clearance at GameStop. Now, I also took advantage of the Pro Days and bought 3 games online, and because they were having some sales, and this is one of them, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this was been reviewed actually as a pretty good game. It's by Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. So it's an action adventure game. I heard it was really well done. It's just that a lot of people didn't play it. So it was only 15 bucks. So for $15, a good PS5 action game. I want to play this, but I didn't get it for me. This is actually going to be for my nephew for Christmas. Yeah, I buy Christmas gifts early to kind of not spend so much in the month of December. But for 15 bucks, I got him this game. I'm sure he's going to really like it. It looks fun, and maybe he'll lend it to me one day once he beats it, so that's cool. So I picked up Blue Reflection Second Light for about $25, I believe, and I think this is, yeah, it was $20. Part 1 is about a $150 game, and I want to say thanks to Namudi, who actually picked this up for me where he's from, and he sold it to me for what he picked it up for 70 bucks. So for 70, Blue Reflection, I got the first one by Gus Koei Tecmo. It's about a $150 game right now. It does have battle systems. It's not just a visual novel, because it does have a deep story as well, but it's supposed to be battling some creatures that have landed around your town area, and you have like these power-ups. This is just me from what I'm guessing from it. I haven't seen any gameplay too much, and I haven't played the game just yet, but for 20 bucks, I decided to get the continuation, the second part to it, because I already have the first. Maybe I can give it a shot. Once I play this, maybe give the second one a shot. Oh, and I didn't want this to, the second one for $20 go up later on more than $100, right? I don't want to spend that much for that, so I got the 2 right here. So maybe I'll play it later. And the last one game from the pro days that I got online was this the Prinny NES Classics Volume 2. I do have Volume 1. I need Volume 3, but it went down in price. It was 60, right? So it was only 40 online. It's $20 per game. They are remakes from the older games. Makai Kingdom. I think I have this game. I haven't played it just yet. And also ZHP. Not too sure what that game is. I actually never heard of that game or played it or anything like that. So, but for $20 per game, comes with a nice slipcover box that you can, you can have it. And I like it that it says Volume 2 right there. There's Volume 1, Volume 2, then Volume 3, different types of games that were put into these bundle sets. So, and it does have these art books that are included there as well. So that's really nice. They look good on the shelf. I'm gonna get the first one, second one, and the third one, and then maybe they'll release more and kind of have a subset collection of these NES combo remakes for the Switch. There you have it. You always have to keep an eye out for GameStop. I mean, they have some sales sometimes that really just hit the sweet spot for the quality of games and the price. It's not always the case, but at least 3 to 4 times out of the year, there's these great sales that go on like this. So keep an eye out for that. Guys, much love. Appreciate you guys watching. Have yourself a good one. I'll see you in the next video.